You see, guys? It's just easy. This guy win a lot of games before us. But right now they are shit and pan because we have really good atmosphere and really good energy in the team.
That's true. Let me visualize Fallon naked again.
As of 2025, Fnatic are the only team to win back-to-back Valorant World Championships. And today, we're diving into the story of the two players who made that historic run possible. While Fnatic has standout players like Chronicle and Kayak, it's the classic duo that sets them apart. The Mastermind and the Turkish Menace. Boaster and Alfjajer are the backbone of Fnatic, one of the most tactical, consistent, and lethal teams in Valorant history. Boaster is Fnatic's brain, known for his charismatic leadership and precise IGLing. He guides his team like a conductor, keeping opponents starved for information and constantly outmaneuvered.
If we don't win the whistle, I will try and carry the IGLing. Yeah, come up, let's go, let's go!
Alfajer is the muscle, the guy that you don't want to peek. Whether it's an insane shot or a huge play, he's always good for impact frags or multi-kills.
Oh my god.
Got the job done. Caught on the cross though, Alfa.
Oh!
Together, they're the driving force behind Fnatic's dominance. Boaster pulls the strings and Alfjajer is the roided out puppet, bringing the vision to fruition. But in order to understand their dominance today, we need to look back at the journeys that shaped them.
I got one here.
Meet Jake Boaster Howlett. Born May 25th, 1995 from Christchurch, England. He is the definition of charismatic.
Dinner time, and I'm thinking we go somewhere Brazilian. Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Cause I know what I'm saying, big shit.
I don't know if you could tell, but this stems from his background in theater performance. Originally, Boaster had dreams of becoming a star in musical theater. But when he was unable to find work in that career, he turned to his second passion, video games. That passion had been there since he was a kid, inspired by his older brother, a top player in CSS. Young Boaster would watch, learn, and become obsessed. So, he began streaming CSGO, hoping that someone in the scene would notice.
What the fuck?
And at just 19, someone did. He was scouted for his first professional CS team. There was just one problem. Like a lot of parents, his mom wasn't exactly sold on the whole pro gamer thing. But after seeing his dedication, she changed her mind and jumped aboard what we'll call the Boaster Toaster. Over the next 3 years, Boaster bounced from roster to roster. He found decent results, and more importantly, he picked up leadership traits that would later set the gold standard for in-game leading. But he wasn't in IGL just yet, and he couldn't quite break into Counter-Strike's top tier. No team became a permanent home, and after years of grinding without a big breakthrough, Boaster decided to try something different.
And is he aware of this? Is he aware? He's not aware. Oh, he's hit it. Big. Big.
Wait, that was crazy, Boasty.
We got the hidden tech. Yeah.
To get his start, he joined Excel Esports, not as a player though, but as a vlogger. His bright, entertaining personality from streaming made him a natural fit for the role, and it just so happened that Excel had known them from his earlier time on their CS roster. Weeks of grinding later, Boaster landed a spot as a substitute player, but once again, he couldn't break into the top level. And that's when he knew it was time for a fresh start. Somewhere on the other side of Europe, a prodigy was hooping harder than Kobe. Born in Turkey on June 10, 2005, God, I'm so old. Alfajer originally wanted to compete in basketball. Unfortunately, at the start of a COVID pandemic, a broken ankle forced him off the court and into the minds of his opponents. But like most, he'd have some obstacles he'd need to overcome. His setup back then would make you grateful to get more than 30 FPS. Still, he was like a duck in water, and it wouldn't stop him from climbing the ranks against all odds, hitting Radiant.
One enemy remaining.
Yes bu. Sikrim gibi.
Noticing his talent, his brother stepped in, convincing their dad to buy him a proper PC. With a new rig came new confidence, and with new confidence came competition. At first, Alpha thought he'd be a streamer, but the more he played, the more he dominated. realizing that he could do more than just entertain. There was just one catch. At 15 years old, he couldn't join a pro team. So the moment he turned 16, he linked up with some friends to form a roster under Surreal Esports, which was the beginning of something legendary.
Alfajer bu sefer o clutch oynamayı başardı.
Hi, I'm Leke. I make Valorant content covering the competitive scene that you can't find anywhere else. So if you're enjoying the content, please subscribe because it helps little guys like me provide more delectable content to you guys. By the time Valorant came out, Boaster had already been grinding nonstop, leading to a contract with Fnatic. And by the same time, Alfa had been cutting his teeth in Turkey's Valorant scene, becoming one of the most dominant players in the scene. While Boaster had already been leading Fnatic, Alfa's team just fell short of qualifying for EMEA challengers. But through his raw talent, he had already made his mark. Of course, this had Fnatic requesting to trial him less than a year later. During trials with dreams on the line, Alfa was obviously nervous, and the language barrier made things even tougher. But Boaster, showing leadership as always, calmed him down, and Alfa responded with a 1v5 clutch to seal his spot. This was the start of a duo that would change Valorant forever.
I like you because you're like my brother. Even if I'm not with my family, you are just acting like my brother. That's why I like you.
At just 17, Alfa joined Fnatic as one of Europe's most exciting young talents. A hyper-flexible player with elite mechanics paired with a hungry boaster who had been trying to break into the top level for years. It was the perfect mix of old and new. The first official event would be 2022 EMEA Stage 2 Challengers, where Fnatic blazed through playoffs, only dropping a single map. Even though the lineup was fresh, already the duo's chemistry was obvious.
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky.
I think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away.
That run qualified them for their first international stage together, Masters Copenhagen. They opened with a statement by sweeping eventual champions FPX 2-0, and Alfa and Boaster seemed to be connecting on all levels.
Cancel. No, don't cancel. Maybe one more?
Enemy
Very good boy, Alpha. Good boy.
And as the dust settled on their semi-final rematch against FPX, they finished in a respectable 4th place, showing promise for this new duo. And remember, Alfa was just 17 at the time. With Boaster's leadership to keep him grounded, he would carry himself like a seasoned pro. By 2023, the roster had settled in, and when Fnatic arrived in Sao Paulo, it showed. In the grand finals against hometown heroes Loud, they hit match point, only to find themselves down 3-11 by round 15, looking utterly hopeless.
The comms have just dropped to a point where like we can't win with these comms, okay?
But the duo would go on to create one of the most iconic moments in Valorant history. Through hero plays and Boaster's calm calling, Fnatic clawed back to 11-11. And with the brains having done their work, it was time for the Brawn to finish the job. It was a graffiti-worthy play. The pair had done it, and in that moment, it was clear. Neither could have pulled it off without the other. But they weren't done just yet, because Masters Tokyo was around the corner, and Alfa looked to be in dominant form.
follow up, but now down to the 1v3. This is a tall task for Alfa, but he's a wonder kid for a reason. Kills already, needs the third. Drawn in, oh, the shorty!
They clean swept EG in the grand finals, making them Valorant's only back-to-back major champions. Alfa was named event MVP, only possible under the leadership of the Walkout King.
Looks like we'll get an answer pretty soon. What is going on here?
Away from the stage though, Boaster and Alfjajer had gone from teammates to something more like family. Alfa has openly called Boaster his best friend. For Alfa, joining Fnatic wasn't just about competition. It was about finding a place where he was accepted. And Boaster was the only one that could do that. For Boaster, it was about bringing the best out of someone who would go on to be one of Valorant's most feared players. By 2025, Fnatic are still among the best in the world, consistently placing high at major events. Through Boaster's steady leadership and Alfa's ever-evolving talent under the captain's wing, they created the gold standard for how chemistry should look, both in and out of the server. For Valorant fans, watching their friendship blossom has been just as rewarding as seeing them win.
I like you because your eyes is like ocean, so I just want to dip into it.
And for you old heads out there, the back-to-back championship reminds me of Fnatic and CSGO winning their first back-to-backs. Little Leke remembers watching that live and being left in awe. So seeing history repeat itself in a different game is honestly priceless. Anyways, if y'all enjoyed this one, you'll probably enjoy one of these videos. Also, let me know in the comments what your favorite Boaster and Alpha moment is, or who you'd like to see covered next.